Charity was the only child of her mother, a poor widow who had suffered so much to see her through school. Life had never been easy for them. Her mother, Mama Grace, sold firewood and petty goods in the market, sometimes going hungry so that her daughter would not lack. Whenever people mocked her for being poor, she always comforted herself with one statement: "One day, my daughter will make me proud." Finally, that day came. Charity had just graduated from the university. Though she had not yet found a job, her heart was filled with joy and gratitude. She wanted to share this good news with her mother in the village. The very thought of seeing her mother's wrinkled face beam with pride was enough to make her feel like the richest girl on earth. So she packed a small bag, left her hostel, and went and stood by the roadside that evening. She had planned to travel with some of her old friends who promised to join her later. But as hours passed, none of them showed up. She was worried. The road was dark, the streetlights dim, and the cold breeze of the night whispered fear into her heart. She wrapped her hands around herself and kept waiting, checking her phone again and again. Every vehicle that passed gave her hope, but the buses that stopped were either full or going in a different direction. Then a man approached her. He was tall, with a thick voice and a calm face. At first, he looked like an ordinary traveler. He greeted her politely. "Fine girl," the man said softly. "Why are you standing here all alone at this late hour?" Charity hesitated before answering. "I'm waiting for my friends. They said they will meet me here so we can travel together." The man looked around. "This road is too dark, too dangerous. I've been watching you for a long time now. Do you mean you've been standing here alone for the past 5 hours? Charity nodded. She was a little embarrassed, but it was true. The man sighed. "Young lady, I don't think your friends will come. They've abandoned you. It's too late already. Why don't you call them to confirm?" Charity dialed her friend, and to her shock, he picked. His voice sounded weak and shaken. "Charity, I'm so sorry. We couldn't make it. We had an accident with my father's bus while on the way to pick you. Thank God no one died, but some people are injured. I should have called you earlier, but I was busy with everything that happened." Charity's heart raced. "What? James, why didn't you pick my calls? I've been waiting here for hours." "I'm sorry," James said. "Please forgive me. But listen to me carefully. Don't go to the village tonight. Just go back home. You can travel tomorrow. Please, be careful before you enter any vehicle. Promise me you'll be careful." Charity sighed heavily. "All right, thank God you're safe. I'll see you tomorrow after I return from the village." "No," James shouted quickly. "Charity, please don't go tonight. I beg you don't. Just go home." But before she could reply, the call ended. She stood there, shaken, still processing everything, when the man chuckled beside her. "You see? Your friends abandoned you," he said. "This is why I don't trust people. Anyway, don't worry. I can help you." Charity looked at him suspiciously. "Help me? How?" The man smiled faintly. "I can take you to your house, or even straight to your mother's village if you like. It's too late for a pretty girl like you to be standing here alone. This place is full of kidnappers. You are not safe here." Charity's body grew cold. His words reminded her of the stories she had heard, stories of people who disappeared after entering strange vehicles at night. But the road was silent now, no bus in sight. The thought of going back home that night felt impossible. She desperately wanted to see her mother the next day. "I think I should just wait a little longer," she said nervously. But the man shook his head. "You've already waited 5 hours. If you continue waiting, morning will meet you here. Do you know how many people have been kidnapped on this very road? Some were never found again. Don't you value your life?" Fear gripped her. His words seemed to echo in her ears like the cry of a night owl. Maybe he was right. Maybe she was indeed in danger standing there. Maybe he was her only chance. Slowly, Charity nodded and followed him. The next morning, Charity woke up in a strange room. She looked around, confused and scared. The walls were dirty, the windows were locked, and the door was bolted from outside. She was shocked. She sat up quickly, her heart beating fast. "Where am I? What happened?" she whispered to herself. Tears rolled down her face. She cried bitterly, shouting for help. But nobody came. She screamed until her voice became weak. Still, no answer, no footsteps, no one. Alone, broken and terrified, she realized she had fallen into danger. Oh God, what have I done? Why did I leave home yesterday? Why didn't I listen to James? Why did I trust that man? She cried bitterly. She thought of her mother in the village, waiting happily for her only child. The thought broke her heart into pieces. About 20 minutes later, the sound of footsteps approached. The door creaked and opened slowly. A young man entered. He was not alone. With him was an elderly man, dressed in red cloth, with cowries around his neck. His eyes were sharp, his voice deep. He was a native doctor. The young man's eyes widened the moment he saw Charity. He was surprised and confused. "Charity?" he whispered. What are you doing here?" Charity looked up in shock. "Larry, you? Please help me. Please take me out of here," she begged, crying even harder. Larry stood frozen. Charity and Larry were from the same village. He knew her mother very well. Everyone in the village respected Mama Grace for being a kind, prayerful and hard-working widow. She never insulted anyone. She never kept malice. Larry shook his head, turning quickly to the native doctor. No, I can't do this. I can't touch this girl. She is the only child of her mother. That woman is a good woman. Everybody knows her. We can't harm this girl." But the native doctor's face was stern. His voice was like thunder. "That is not your business. We cannot let her go. She has seen your face. And don't forget, you have only 6 hours left to renew your wealth. If we don't use this girl, everything you have will vanish. You will return to the street, broke and suffering. Worse than you were before." Larry's heart pounded. He looked at Charity, who was kneeling, crying, and begging him with her eyes. "No, I can't do this," Larry whispered. But the native doctor glared at him. "Think wisely, Larry. Do you prefer to suffer again? Do you want to lose all your cars, your houses, your status? Poverty will swallow you if you refuse. You know the rules. You can't escape them." Larry was confused. I can't. Oh God," the native doctor hissed. "We shall see." Both of them left the room. Charity fell flat on the floor, crying and praying. "Oh God, save me. Forgive me for leaving home that night. Forgive me for trusting a stranger. Please don't let me die here. Please, Lord, save me for my mother's sake." Meanwhile, in the city, her friend Moses was worried. He had not heard from Charity since last night. He had called her phone several times, but it was switched off. He grew restless. Something was wrong. He knew Charity. She was not the type of girl to wander around carelessly. Moses finally called Mama Grace. "Mama, have you heard from Charity today?" The old woman's voice was calm at first. "No, my son, I didn't see her. My heart is heavy. Hope my only child is fine. Hope nothing has happened to her." Moses swallowed hard. He didn't want to scare her. He lied softly. "Maybe she just wants to be left alone, Mama. Or maybe her phone battery went off. You know how there's no light sometimes." Mama Grace sighed deeply. "Okay, my son. God, please guide my child. Protect her wherever she is." When the call ended, Moses felt his chest tighten. He knew something was wrong. He could not sit still anymore. He rushed straight to the police station to report her missing. At the police station, the policewoman on duty was chewing gum lazily when Moses entered. "Officer, please, I want to report a missing person. My friend Charity has been missing since last night." The woman looked at him with no interest. "How old is she?" "She's 22. She just graduated. She was supposed to travel to the village yesterday, but she never arrived. Her phone has been off since last night." The policewoman rolled her eyes. "Young man, she's a big girl. Maybe she went to sleep with men. Girls of nowadays don't stay in one place. Today with this man, tomorrow with another." Moses's eyes widened with anger. "What? Are you even listening to yourself? This is somebody's daughter, somebody's only child. She's missing, and you are saying rubbish like this?" "Mind your tongue," the policewoman barked, standing up. "You don't respect authority. Watch it, or you will spend the night in our cell." Moses clenched his fists, his whole body shaking. "You people don't know your job anymore. Somebody is missing, and you are here gossiping and blaming victims." The policewoman smirked. "Besides, it's not even up to 24 hours. Go home, foolish boy. Maybe by tomorrow she will come back." Moses stormed out angrily. His eyes were red with fury. "Useless people. This country is finished. I will go to social media. I will tell the world. Somebody must hear about this." But as he walked away, the policewoman whispered to another officer, "I'm beginning to suspect that boy. If we don't find the girl, he will be held responsible for her disappearance." Meanwhile, Charity knelt in the strange room, still praying. Her lips moved quickly, whispering every Bible verse she could remember. She was weak, but her faith was strong. "God, you said you will never forsake me. Prove yourself today. Save me from the hands of wicked men." 2 hours later, the native doctor entered Charity's room. He was holding a small calabash with strange liquid inside. His eyes were fierce, his voice deep. "Today the spirits must eat," he said. Charity screamed, shaking her head. "Please, please, I beg you, don't do this. I am the only child of my mother, please." But the native doctor ignored her. He brought out a charm, waved it before her face, and blew powder into the air. Within seconds, Charity's body went weak. Her eyes rolled. She collapsed on the floor. She was gone. Meanwhile, Larry was in his own room, his eyes wide with excitement. Money was falling everywhere, on the bed, on the floor, from the wardrobe, even from the ceiling. Bundles of cash rained down on him like a storm. He grabbed them, threw them in the air, rolled on them, and laughed like a madman. "I did it. I am rich again," he shouted. He lifted his hands, laughing louder. "Sorry, Mama Grace, sorry. I had to do what I had to do. Your daughter was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Don't blame me. Money is life. And now I have more than enough. Ah, this feels so good. I love money." His voice echoed in the big house. Few hours later, back in Moses' house, Moses sat quietly in his small room, worried sick. He had been praying, waiting, hoping for any news about Charity. Then his phone rang. It was the police. "Come to the station immediately," the voice on the line ordered. Moses rushed there, his heart beating fast. Maybe they have found Charity alive, he thought, but when he arrived, everything turned upside down. The moment he stepped into the station, 2 policemen grabbed him. "You are under arrest." "Wait, what is going on? You called me to come here immediately. I have not even seen my friend yet. Why are you arresting me?" Moses shouted, struggling against them. The policewoman from before smirked. "Shut up, don't play smart. We found a female body this morning. Some students around identified her as Charity. Her name matches the ID card we found. And guess what? You were the last person to call her. That makes you a suspect." Moses froze. "What? No, this is not true. Charity is my friend, my sister. Why would I harm her? Please, just let me see the body first. Let me confirm." But the policewoman slammed the table. "I said shut up. You think this is a joke? This is murder. We don't need your tears here. You are under arrest." Moses shook his head in disbelief. "This is unfair. This is wicked. What has this country turned into? Instead of finding the real people that did this, you are arresting innocent person." "Lock him up," the policewoman commanded. As they dragged Moses away, he shouted, "Okay, let me call my lawyer. At least I have the right to a lawyer." "Shut up, foolish boy," the policewoman hissed. "You will talk when we allow you to talk." Moses sat on the cold floor, confused and broken. How can this be happening, he thought. Charity is gone. And now I am being punished for a crime I didn't commit. Back in the village, Mama Grace sat outside her little mud house. She had been waiting since yesterday. Each time she heard footsteps on the road, her heart jumped. She thought it was her daughter, but Charity never came. Then her phone rang. It was a strange number. "Mama Grace," a voice asked. "Yes, who is this?" "Have you seen my daughter?" she asked quickly, hope rising in her heart. There was silence. Then the voice spoke slowly. "Mama, please take heart. There has been an accident. Your daughter Charity is gone." "What? What did you just say?" "She is gone, Mama. We are sorry." Mama Grace screamed. "No. Number one God, why me? My only child, my daughter, why? She promised to make me proud. God, take me instead. Leave my child." The whole village gathered, mourning with her. Meanwhile, Moses was still in the police cell. He sat on the cold floor, his hands on his head. He could hear the other prisoners laughing at him. "So you unalived your girlfriend?" one mocked. "I did not unalive anyone," Moses shouted, but nobody believed him. Hours later, the policewoman came to the cell. She looked at him with suspicion. Young man, you better confess now. We already know you were the last person to call her. Stop pretending. Girls like her always get trapped by lovers like you. Moses became so angry. How dare you accuse me without proof? I loved Charity like my own sister. I went to the station to report her missing, and now you are punishing me. Is this how the police work? Shut up, the woman shouted. Don't teach me my job. If you keep talking, you will rot here. She turned and left. Moses sat down again, weak. He whispered to himself, God, please fight for me. I am innocent. Don't let me die in this place. The next day, Mama Grace decided to travel to the city. She wanted to see her daughter's body with her own eyes. Neighbors tried to stop her, but she refused. I will not rest until I see my child, she cried. She entered a bus and headed to the mortuary. When she arrived, the police tried to stop her, but she insisted. I carried her in my womb for 9 months. I raised her with my sweat. I must see her with my own eyes. They finally allowed her inside. The mortuary attendant came forward, pushing a stretcher. A white cloth covered the body. Mama Grace's hands shook violently. Her knees almost gave way. Slowly the cloth was removed. The sight before her eyes shattered her soul. She screamed from the depth of her heart. No, my daughter, my only child, Charity. She fell on the floor, rolling and crying. Her voice pierced the room like a sharp knife. God, why me? Why my only child? Why now that she just finished school? Why after all my suffering? The police officers stood quietly, some with heads bowed. There was no doubt. It was Charity. Mama Grace stretched her hands over the lifeless body, wailing, Charity, wake up. Please wake up. Don't leave me alone in this wicked world. Who will call me mother again? Who will wipe my tears? The room was filled with sorrow. No one could console her. The next day, Charity's body was taken back to the village for burial. The whole community gathered. Young and old, men and women, even children, all came to mourn. The wailing filled the air. People cried until their voices broke. Mama Grace could not be comforted. She rolled on the ground, shouting, My only child, my daughter, why did you leave me? What will I live for now? Oh God, take me too. Some women held her tightly so she would not fall into the grave. Her voice was like a knife cutting through the hearts of everyone present. When the coffin was lowered into the ground, sorrow covered the entire village. Tears flowed like a river. Songs of mourning filled the air. Mama Grace fainted 3 times before the burial was over. By evening, the village was silent. Everyone was sad. Some said, This girl died too young. She had a bright future. Others shook their heads and whispered, This world is full of wickedness. Back in the city, Moses was still in the police cell. He had been there for days without proper food, without sleep. He kept repeating, I am innocent. I did not unalive Charity. God sees my heart. 2 days after, his lawyer finally arrived. He walked into the station and went straight to the policewoman in charge. Officer, he said firmly, why are you detaining my client? You said he is only a suspect. By law, you cannot keep him here without evidence. Release him immediately. The policewoman frowned. He was the last person to call her. That makes him suspicious. The lawyer slammed the table. Suspicious is not proof. You have no right to keep him locked like an animal. Either you charge him to court or you let him go. The Constitution is clear. The lawyer continued, If you refuse to release him, I will take this matter higher. I will sue this station for unlawful detention. Do your job the right way. Go and look for the real killers instead of wasting time with an innocent man. The policewoman hissed, but she knew the lawyer was right. Fine, take him out. The cell door was opened. Moses stepped out, weak but relieved. His eyes were red from crying, but he lifted his hands. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for sending my lawyer. The lawyer patted his shoulder. Don't worry, my boy. We will fight this. We will make sure the truth comes out. While Mama Grace and Moses mourned, Larry was living large. His mansion was filled with music, laughter, and the smell of expensive wine. Women danced around him. He threw money into the air, and they screamed with joy, grabbing the bundles. The next morning, Larry shocked the entire neighborhood when he drove out in a brand new Rolls-Royce car. Men stood and whispered, This man is truly blessed. Women admired him, wishing he would notice them. Larry sat in the driver's seat, smiling proudly. Life is sweet when you have money. I will never go back to poverty. Never. 2 days later, Moses traveled to the village to console Mama Grace. When he reached her house, he found her sitting outside, her eyes swollen from endless crying. Mama, Moses said softly. The moment she saw him, she began to wail again. Moses, they have taken my child, my only daughter. What am I living for again? Oh God, take me too. Tears filled Moses' eyes. Mama, stop crying. Please, wipe your tears. I know your pain. Charity was my sister too. I feel the same pain you feel. But Mama Grace shook her head. No, my son, you cannot understand. You still have life. But me, I have nothing left. Nothing. Moses felt guilty. His voice trembled as he spoke. Mama, forgive me. I blame myself. I should have come to pick her up that night. If I had been there, maybe she would still be alive. I failed her. I failed you. Both of them cried together. After a long silence, Moses wiped his face and spoke again. Mama, listen to me. The police are too slow. They don't care about the truth. If we wait for them, we will wait forever. But we cannot keep quiet. Those who unalived Charity must not go free. Mama Grace looked at him with weak eyes. What do you want us to do, my son? Moses leaned closer. Before the law does its thing, let us go to her grave. Let us carry a broom and a cutlass. We will place them there. We will cry to her spirit. We will call her to avenge her death. Let her not rest until those who killed her suffer. Let her fight them. Let them never know peace. Mama Grace's eyes widened. You mean, call my daughter's spirit? Yes, Mama, Moses said. If the living cannot fight for her, let the dead fight. Let her soul torment those evil doers. Let them suffer before they die. Mama Grace sighed. My daughter deserves justice. If her killers will not confess, then let her spirit rise. Let them never have peace. That night, Mama Grace and Moses walked to the grave with heavy hearts. Moses carried a cutlass and a broom. Mama Grace carried a small calabash of water. When they reached the grave, Mama Grace fell on her knees immediately. She placed her 2 hands on the soil and began to weep. My daughter, my only child. Charity, can you hear me? Wake up, my child. Wake up and avenge your death. Her voice cracked with pain. Moses placed the cutlass and the broom on the grave. He bent low and spoke with fire in his eyes. Charity, it is me, Moses, your friend. I know you are angry in the land of the dead. Don't sleep yet. Rise, fight, and punish those who ended your life. Let them know no peace. Let them run mad with fear until the truth is exposed. Mama Grace lifted the calabash of water and poured it gently on the grave. Her tears mixed with the soil. My daughter, I raised you with sweat and tears. They cut your life short. Do not forgive them. Let them suffer before they die. Make them confess. My child, do not rest until you avenge yourself. The wind suddenly blew stronger. The trees swayed. A strange sound echoed in the night. Mama Grace and Moses held each other tightly. It was as if the earth itself had heard their cry. That same night, Larry was in his mansion, surrounded by women, loud music, and drinks. His brand-new Rolls-Royce was parked outside, shining under the moonlight. He laughed loudly, throwing bundles of money in the air. But suddenly, everything changed. The music stopped. The lights went off. The whole house became silent. Even the air felt heavy. Hey, put the lights back on, Larry shouted angrily. But no one moved. When he turned, he realized the women and his friends were already gone. They had all disappeared quietly, leaving him alone in the darkness. Larry's chest tightened. He picked up his phone to call someone, but the screen refused to come on. The phone was dead. He grabbed another, but it too was blank. A strange coldness filled the room. Then he heard it. Larry. The voice was soft, but it shook him to his bones. He turned quickly. Who is there? Show yourself. Silence. He tried to laugh, but his voice cracked. It's just my mind playing tricks. Nothing is happening. Nothing. Then the voice came again, clearer, closer. Larry. Why did you betray me? Why did you take my life? Larry's legs shook. His heart pounded so loudly he could hear it. No, no, I don't want to hear this. Leave me alone, he shouted. But the voice would not stop. It was Charity's voice, gentle, yet filled with pain. You unalived the only child of her mother. You spilled innocent blood. You will never know peace. Larry dropped to his knees, trembling. He covered his face, but the voice grew stronger, echoing inside him. He tried to stand, but his legs gave way. He fell back down, shaking like a leaf. That night, Larry did not sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he felt as if someone was standing beside him, watching. Early the next morning, Larry could not take it anymore. His eyes were red from lack of sleep, his hands were shaking, and his mind was restless. The voice of Charity still echoed in his ears. He rushed to the native doctor's shrine. "Baba, I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. Her voice is everywhere. She keeps calling me. She says I unsliced her. She says I will not have peace. Baba, do something before I run mad." The native doctor sat quietly, watching him. He was not surprised. He already knew the spirit of an only child was powerful. He finally spoke in a deep voice. "Larry, listen carefully. What you are hearing is her spirit crying for justice. But there is a way to silence her forever." Larry's eyes lit up with desperate hope. "Tell me, Baba. Please, I will do anything. Just tell me." The native doctor leaned closer. "You must go back to your village. At the grave of the girl, you will take a chain with you. Tie the chain firmly around the grave. Once you do this, her spirit will no longer rise against you. She will be chained to the ground forever. The dead will no longer connect with the living." Larry swallowed hard. "So, once I do this, she will stop haunting me?" The native doctor nodded. "Yes. But remember, if you fail, her anger will double. And if you die before it is done, her spirit will chase you into the afterlife. Think carefully." Larry sighed in relief. "I will do it. I don't care what it takes. I will chain her grave today." The native doctor handed him a heavy chain. Larry gripped it tightly, fear and determination battling inside him. "Go quickly," the native doctor warned. "Do not waste time, and make sure no one sees you, or the chain will lose its power." Larry nodded. He jumped into his Rolls-Royce and sped off, heading straight to the village. Larry arrived at the village late in the evening. He carried the heavy chain Baba had given him. His heart was pounding, but greed and fear pushed him forward. The graveyard was quiet. Larry stood before Charity's grave, sweating. He looked around to be sure no one was watching. Then he knelt down, placed the chain around the mound of soil, and tied it firmly. As he tightened the knot, he whispered, "Charity, rest in peace. You will not disturb me again. I am free from you forever." The moment he finished, he smiled. "It's done," he muttered. "She's finished." He walked to Mama Grace's house. "Mama, I heard about the tragedy. That's why I came." Mama Grace's eyes filled with tears immediately. She burst out crying. "My son, my only child is gone. Charity was all I had. I don't know how I will survive this pain." Larry pretended to wipe his own eyes. "Mama, don't cry too much. The people responsible for her death will not go unpunished. Her spirit will fight for you, believe me." Mama Grace nodded weakly. "Amen, my son. I know her spirit is strong. I know she is haunting them even now." Larry quickly replied, "Yes, Mama. In fact, my own mother told me that you go to the grave almost every day to cry." Mama Grace sighed. "Yes, I go every day. It gives me strength. It feels like I am closer to her when I sit there." Larry shook his head seriously. "Mama, don't do that again. Stop visiting the grave every day. If you keep going there, your daughter's spirit will not be free to fight those who killed her. You are holding her down with your tears. Give her time to fight her battle by herself." Mama Grace looked at him closely. "Are you sure, my son?" "Of course, Mama," Larry said confidently. "I learned it from a powerful man of God. If you want Charity to fight for you, stop going there. Stay at home and pray instead." Mama Grace wiped her tears. "If you say so, my son. I just want justice for my child." Larry smiled and brought out a bundle of money. He placed it in her hands. "Take this, Mama. Use it to buy food and take care of yourself. God will comfort you." Mama Grace wept again, thanking him. "Thank you, my son. May God bless you." Larry left her house smiling wickedly. As he entered his car, he laughed to himself. "That woman is even foolish for believing me. Now she will stop disturbing the grave, and Charity's spirit will remain chained forever. Finally, I am free." He drove back to the city, happy and proud. That night, under the cold moonlight, the grave shook. From beneath the earth, a soft cry rose. It was Charity's voice. She appeared in spirit, dressed in white, her eyes swollen with endless tears. She sat on her own grave, weeping bitterly. My mother, my mother. Why have you stopped coming to me? Why have you abandoned me here? They have tied me. I can no longer rise. I cannot go after Larry. I cannot fight. Mama, please come back. Mama, please help me. Her voice echoed in the graveyard, but only the wind carried her sorrow. That night, Mama Grace lay on her small mat, weak from crying. Sleep refused to come. She tossed and turned until she finally drifted off. In her dream, the room filled with a bright light. Suddenly, Charity appeared before her, dressed in white. Mama, she called softly. Mama Grace sat up in the dream, trembling. Charity, my child. Is it you? Oh Jesus, is it really you? Charity nodded. Mama, listen carefully. They have chained me at my grave. That is why I cannot fight for myself. Go to the grave tomorrow. Remove the chain. Go with a man of God. Only then will I be free to fight my battle. Mama Grace began to cry. My daughter, who did this to you? Charity's face darkened. Larry. And the native doctor. But don't worry, Mama. Once the chain is gone, they will pay for their wickedness. Before Mama Grace could speak again, Charity's image faded away like smoke. Mama Grace woke up sweating, tears running down her face. God, thank you for this revelation. I will not fail my child. The next morning, Mama Grace went with a pastor from the village. She told him everything she had seen in the dream. The pastor nodded. Mama, the spirit of your daughter is restless because her death was not natural. Let us go and break every chain. When they reached the grave, Mama Grace gasped. The black chain was still there, tied firmly around the mound of soil. The pastor raised his Bible high. In the name of Jesus Christ, we break every chain. No power of darkness shall hold this child down. He poured oil on the grave and began to pray in tongues. The ground shook slightly. The chain rattled violently as if an invisible hand was pulling it. With one final prayer, the pastor bent down and removed the chain with his bare hands. It snapped like a weak thread. At that very moment, a loud cry filled the air. The wind blew so hard that the trees bent. Mama Grace fell to her knees, weeping. My daughter, you are free. Go and fight your battle. That same instant, in the city, the native doctor was sitting in his shrine, chanting incantations. Suddenly, he clutched his chest. His eyes widened in shock. No, no, this cannot be happening, he screamed. Invisible hands seemed to grip his throat. He struggled, gasping for breath. Within minutes, the powerful native doctor was dead, his body stiff on the ground. Flames rose mysteriously from his shrine, burning his charms, his calabashes, and his idols. Meanwhile, Larry was in his mansion, surrounded by friends, laughing loudly. Suddenly, his laughter turned into choking. He grabbed his throat, his eyes bulging. Help me, he screamed, but no one could help. His body grew weak. He fell to the floor, shaking. Then his mouth opened and words poured out uncontrollably. It was me. It was me. I unalived Charity. I sacrificed her for money. Forgive me. His friends screamed and ran out of the house. Minutes later, Larry gave a loud cry and collapsed. He died on the spot. Back in the village, the news spread fast. People shouted in shock when they heard Larry had confessed before dying. Mama Grace was told. She cried bitterly. So it was Larry. He killed my child. God of heaven, you have fought for me. Thank you. The village elders gathered and passed judgment. Larry's parents were banished from the village for raising a child who brought such abomination. The entire village cursed the memory of Larry. People spat on the ground whenever his name was mentioned. Mama Grace wept, but this time her tears were mixed with relief. At least the truth is out. My daughter has fought her battle. 2 days later, Mama Grace sat quietly outside her hut. The sun was setting. The world looked empty to her. She felt tired of life. Suddenly, the air changed. She looked up, and there was Charity standing before her, not in a dream, in real life. Mama, Charity smiled. Mama Grace jumped up, shocked. Tears poured down her cheeks. My child, my Charity. You are alive. No, I buried you. I saw your body. What is happening? Please don't leave me again. Charity smiled gently. Mama, I came to tell you not to cry anymore. Your joy has come. Don't harm yourself. Don't say this world is wicked. God is still faithful. Mama Grace cried and begged, please stay with me. Don't go again. You are all I have left. I already lost your brother years ago before you were born. I cannot lose you again. Charity smiled. Mama, you will not be alone. Your joy is closer than you think. At that moment, a car drove into the compound. A tall, handsome man stepped out. He looked around as if searching for something. Then his eyes rested on Mama Grace. He walked forward slowly. Are you Mama Grace? He asked softly. Mama Grace looked at him carefully. Yes, I am. Who are you, my son? The man swallowed hard. His eyes shone with tears. I am your lost child, your son, the one who was stolen from you as a baby. I have been searching for years. Finally, I have found you. Mama Grace staggered. What? My son? You were 1 month old when you were stolen from me. I thought you were gone forever. She screamed and fell to her knees, crying uncontrollably. Oh God, my child is alive. The man lifted her gently. Yes, Mama, I am alive. I came to take you with me. You will never suffer again. Mama Grace held her son's hands, still shaking with shock. Tears rolled down her face as she tried to speak. My son, there is something you must know, she whispered. You had a sister. Her name was Charity. She was my only daughter. But wicked people cut her life short. The young man's face fell, his eyes filled with tears. So I had a sister, and now she is gone. Mama Grace nodded slowly, her voice breaking. Yes, my child, she was all I had after losing you. She grew up to be a good girl, but they took her from me too. This world has been cruel to me, but at least God has given me back my son. The man took Mama Grace to the city. He owned a beautiful mansion. Mama, this is your home now, he said proudly. Mama Grace looked around in shock. She held his hand tightly. After all my years of suffering, God has remembered me. Her son hugged her again. Yes, Mama, your tears have turned to joy. Even though Charity was gone, Mama Grace felt comfort knowing her spirit had fought for justice and that God had restored her lost son. She whispered to herself every night, the wicked shall never go unpunished. And no matter how dark the night, joy will always come in the morning. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this dramatic tale? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest updates. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.